Hey everyone, I'm Conan Smith. Welcome back to Capital Connection. So glad to have you join us today. We're going to get rolling with Regina Strong. Regina is the Environmental Justice Public Advocate at EGLE, the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, longtime friend and ally, and serving a role that is new to Michigan. She's been in this role since 2019. Driving environmental justice lens through EGLE and the balance of state government. And we get a chance to have a conversation with her to reflect on her successes over the last couple of years and the challenges she's still facing in elevating these issues inside state government. And Regina, I hope too, we'll talk a little bit about how you would recommend that the advocacy community engage and support your work. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. I'm looking forward to the conversation. I know someone already put in the chat that they love my background. Like, where'd I get it? I took that picture. I hiked to the top of a hill and took that picture of Sleeping Bear Dunes, and I'm very proud of it, which is why I display it at every chance I get.
That's awesome. So let's give folks a little bit of your background. As the webinar populated, we were talking about how you and I met, and that was back in sort of the affordable housing community development space.
Yes.
But after that, you ran the Sierra Club's Clean Coal campaign for the state of Michigan.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but we had Mary Ann Hitt on earlier this year, talking about the National Clean Coal campaign. She just departed the Sierra Club at the time, and I know it's a big loss for the club, but she keeps doing good work. And that Clean Coal campaign was serious stuff. Did great work. So tell us a little bit about your background in environment and environmental justice, and how ultimately you've landed in EGLE and the administration.
So, it's been an interesting journey. I'm a Spartan. I just have to throw that in. But I defected from Ohio to get here. So I'll say that. So I grew up in Cleveland and came to Michigan and went to Michigan State. And so, this whole Great Lakes area has always been a really important part of my life. Like, I go other places and I go, why isn't it green? And why isn't it blue? And why don't we have all these amazing things that we have around the Great Lakes? So I've always had a passion for that work. And I studied actually journalism when I was at Michigan State. So I started as a journalist, and then I went into kind of corporate PR and quickly learned that my mission-driven passion didn't always match my corporate role. And so I worked in a lot of different nonprofit situations. I worked for the March of Dimes. So I was really into health and birth defects at that time. And then I kind of transitioned and really started learning more about housing policy and affordable housing. So that's when you and I met, when I was in that kind of part of my journey, where I really spent a lot of time in Detroit neighborhoods. I worked for a CDC, apologize for my doggy, Community Development Corporation, North Star. And then I went on to lead Community Development Advocates of Detroit, really advocating for affordable housing in the city of Detroit. And, fast forward to the role at Sierra Club, leading the Beyond Coal campaign was a challenge, an opportunity. I'd always been a member. I'd always paid attention to the environment, but it was really an immersion into the role we all play in moving, in the right direction with climate change. And that was a while ago. And now we're seeing effects that we were only talking about then, which was why transitioning from fossil fuel was such a priority and such an important part of the work. And I think during that time period that I was there, that 4-year time period, that, there were a team of folks working on getting coal plants, retired. And there were like probably 6 or 7 of those that were announced during that time period. So it was really an important piece of my time there that I'm very happy about. But while I was there, in working, many of the communities that we were working with in terms of housing also turned out to be environmental justice communities. And Rhonda Anderson, who is just an amazing environmental justice advocate, I had the pleasure of working with her at Sierra Club. She taught me so much about working with communities from that environmental standpoint and environmental justice. So during that time, I was having a deep immersion in the communities that were most affected by our fossil fuel industries. And so it really was a time where I started really connecting with that piece of the work. And so while I was at Sierra Club, you know, this opportunity to join Governor Whitmer's administration and be part of the push toward really taking a deep look at how we start actually making change for environmental justice communities. And so that's kind of the Cliff Notes version, if you're old enough to remember Cliff Notes, I guess the abbreviated version of, you know, my journey to where I am now.
We have in our audience, some people are real true experts with lifelong experience in environmental justice. Some folks who are brand new to it. As you envision your role as the EJ advocate, what does environmental justice mean to you, and how are you thinking about it in terms of the context of the state?
So it's really, it is, I mean, there are official definitions that the EPA uses and we use, but really it's looking at communities that are suffering disparate impacts from varying factors and really helping to identify